going on, guys? This is AEW, Almost Expert Wrestling, what have you. We're back, first time in a little bit. Last video we made was back in June or July. It was Money in the Bank predictions. I don't... So, what have you been up to since the break, Kyle? I mean, we just had to kind of collect, our thoughts and freshen up. What's been going on with you?
Yeah, same old, man. We're just here today. We're doing the 2019 Royal Rumble predictions, getting a fresh start for 2019 here at AEW. Almost Expert Wrestling, of course, and we're ready. We're ready to do some Royal Rumble predictions. So, if you want to go ahead and get right into it, no need to waste any time, right?
No need. Kyle, before we started, said, no long intro. I want this to be 20 minutes, bro. That's what he said. So, we're going to try. Let's start things off. Hashtag get right into it. We're going to be predicting, are we starting with the Cruiserweight match? Is that good with you?
Yeah, we'll just bang out the pre-show matches real quick.
Let's bang them hard. Here we go. We got the pre-show matches first. We're going to start off predicting the Cruiserweight title match. We got Buddy Murphy defending against Kira Tozawa. Whoa. Kalisto and Hideo Itami. I think this is being billed as it's a small world after all match. But it's for the Cruiserweight title. Buddy Murphy's had a good run with it. Obviously, Kyle's probably laughing because I don't watch 205 Live that often. But I do certainly watch the Cruiserweight matches. And I'm a big fan of Buddy Murphy, especially since he's been champion, from what I've seen. I'll make it quick. I think he's going over. I think he's going to keep the belt. Case closed. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. I had Buddy Murphy also retaining. I think it's very a basic match. I mean, like you were saying, an international flair to this match. Buddy Murphy, Kalisto, who he's been a staple mate of the Cruiserweight division. Hideo Itami's done a good job. And, of course, Tozawa. I mean, we have a couple former Cruiserweight champions in this match. So, I think Buddy wins here. I think it's not really an easy pick, but I think it should be a nice, exciting match on the pre-show. And, I'm going to go with Buddy continuing his reign. I think that when he loses the championship, it might be to somebody, no disrespect to the three, but somebody a little bit more of a star, So, instead of somebody who's already won the championship, I think they might be looking at maybe a new champion. I could see a Tommy winning now, but nonetheless, I'm going with Buddy Murphy. I'm going to move right into it. We have the United States Championship match. Rusev, who has had a great United States title run, is defending against Shinsuke Nakamura, last year's Royal Rumble winner. So he's still in championship matches a year later. I know he's on the pre-show, but he's still involved. I mean, the feud really got off. I thought it was going pretty well at first. They were on SmackDown consistently. The past couple weeks, they just haven't had the time with Rumble predictions, the WWE title feud, the women's title feud, tag team title feud. They've had a lot of different things going on SmackDown, so they haven't really had a chance to be able to have their feud go on SmackDown. But nonetheless, I actually have my prediction as Shinsuke Nakamura regaining the United States Championship over Rusev. This was a little bit of a difficult pick because I think that Rusev should necessarily lose the championship next, but I do think Nakamura deserves another run with the belt. And for him to be United States champion heading into WrestleMania season, I think will do wonders for his WWE run on the main roster, would really be able to prove him a little bit more. I just think if he loses the match here, I don't really know what his direction would be going into WrestleMania. I just don't know if he would he jump into the WWE title feud? Would he fade? It's really interesting. So I think him winning is probably best for his career. I think Rusev can afford a loss here. But at the same time, I think both guys are kind of directionless right now. I don't know if they're main eventers. I don't know if they're mid-card guys. They're kind of in the middle. So, but nonetheless, I do have Nakamura regaining the United States Championship. On the pre-show, I think a nice title change on the pre-show would really help out the Phoenix crowd, too. I think it could prove to be an unpredictable night. So I think that a title change on the pre-show could really set up for a good night. So, Joe, you can go ahead and get into your prediction. Nakamura, Rusev.
For this one, I agree with a lot of the stuff you were saying as far as, title change would be great to start the, pre-show. Definitely, that's the thing about the Rumble. A lot of unpredictability, but I'm going to have to disagree. This one's kind of a tough call because for one of the reasons you said, both of them right now are kind of directionless. I really agree with that. The United States title just doesn't, in my opinion, have, much importance right now. And it's not because of Rusev, it's not because of Nakamura, it's just the booking of it. It just seems unimportant, but so that's why it's kind of tougher to call. It's just kind of, I guess, Rusev. That's my pick. He's going to retain, in my opinion. But a title change would be great, though. Just don't see it happening. All right, brother. Let's move on to the next match. Which are we calling the SmackDown tag titles?
Yeah, that's a good one to kick off with. Yep.
Thanks. All right. We're going to move on to the main card here. We're going to be talking about the SmackDown Tag Titles match. We got the Bar defending against The Miz and Shane McMahon. An interesting storyline where I don't get what's going on here, but it's been interesting writing on SmackDown, having The Miz and Shane as a team. And this will be pretty much, correct me if I'm wrong, the first legitimate tag team match with the two, where before they had jobbers on SmackDown one time. But for this one, this one actually is kind of tough. This one is a little unpredictable, and I like it because you got an up and coming team like this, and you'd think that maybe they'll have a title run here, but man, I'm going with the Bar here to beat The Miz and Shane, and part of, in my notes here, just some I wrote down was, something that I think is definitely going to happen if they lose is either during the match or after the match, I think we see Miz turn back, full heel, and turn against Shane, leading to a little WrestleMania season feud. Probably, that's just something I see happening because it has been weird having Miz as I guess, a face, working as a face, or a tweener. I really can't tell sometimes, but it's just weird, and I think that it's leading to this turn, leading up to a feud for Mania season. So that's my pick. But overall, the Bar winning the match itself. In what should be, honestly, this shouldn't be that bad of a match. What say you, Kyle?
Okay, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Of course, I think it will be a good match. I think it's been quite interesting with Shane McMahon and The Miz. Of course, started a crown jewel. The Miz has transitioned slowly into a face. I just think that's pretty good for him. He doesn't really have a main storyline outside of this, so they're kind of prioritizing on this. And one thing I am going to say real quick about The Miz is, I'm not sure if Joe knows, but the past couple years I have been picking The Miz to win the actual Royal Rumble. I really wanted him to break through and win it and get back into the WWE Championship scene. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's happening, but I do have Shane McMahon and The Miz winning the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. And when you say a feud between Shane and Miz, I do think that's going to happen. I do think this is all leading to a WrestleMania match. I just think that late January, might not be the best time to exactly start that feud. I think that maybe they'll win the championships here and then end up dropping them at Elimination Chamber or Fastlane, which would lead to it. And I think that, like I was saying with the pre-show, I think that this will also be a good championship title change that will make the show go on a lot better. I think that it could kick off the show. I mean, I know we're picking the match first. I think that it could be a good opener. And I talk about Sheamus and Cesaro too. I think they're really good at being transitional champions. I mean, they have been kind of the guys that have dropped the championships to unlikely duos. I mean, they had to drop it to Braun Strowman and Nicholas at WrestleMania. They had to drop it. I believe they dropped the championships to somebody else in the past. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose when they got together. It isn't unlikely, but they seem to be transitional champions. They dropped them at WrestleMania. I think the year before, I think they were the champions going into the match that the Hardys won. I'm pretty sure. I'm not. I know they were in the match, but nonetheless, I think Sheamus and Cesaro was a good heel tag team that's been pretty good at doing that, dropping the championships and being able to get them back. I think they've won the championships like 4 or 5 times now. But nonetheless, I think Shane and Miz winning would really kind of elevate the feud for them a lot better than, say, breaking up so soon. I think that maybe getting them, getting some momentum, getting a couple tag titles, getting the tag title win, maybe beating the Usos, maybe beating the New Day, doing a couple things first, and then losing the titles, and then starting the feud, maybe a fast lane. But nonetheless, I picked Shane and Miz, and Joe picks the Bar. So move right into our next pick here, and right now we're going to keep it on the SmackDown side of things, and we're going to talk about the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Asuka is defending against Becky Lynch, and of course this is quote-unquote Becky's rematch, even though Becky did win a triple threat match to get this opportunity. Becky heads in the Royal Rumble without the strap. Of course, Asuka wins her first SmackDown Live Women's Championship last month at TLC. And this pick was very simple for me. I think that Asuka is nothing more than a transitional champion at this point. I think that Becky Lynch is going to win the championship back at Royal Rumble. I think this sets up so much more going into the future. I mean, I will talk a little bit more about that when I get to my Rumble pick. But I think this sets up the whole Becky, Ronda, Charlotte debacle. I think that Becky winning here is safe. I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% full Becky. I just think that Asuka is sort of the transitional champion right now. I don't really think that she is going to have a big run going into Mania. I don't know. That's a difficult one. And this is actually the third title change I've predicted. They're all for SmackDown. So, but this is one that I'm not too sure about. But I think, well, I mean, I am sure about it, but I don't know. So, Joe, why don't we get into your pick and see if you can provide a little bit more of an explanation for this match, but I am going to be 100% in on my pick for Becky. So go ahead.
All right. I don't know how much insight I can give because I kind of agree with you on this. When I was going through my, making my picks, this one was just kind of like, I don't know. Because, I kind of see what you're saying with Asuka being a transitional champion. I kind of agree with you on that. And right now, you got Becky, who is one of, I think we can agree, one of the most over wrestlers, super wrestlers, as we'd say, in the company right now. And so you'd think, oh, she's going to win the title in front of, 45,000 people Sunday? I don't know. It's a big stadium there. But that's what you're picking. I'm just going to go with Asuka here. And, it is kind of tough, especially with that feud that is expected between, Rousey, Charlotte, and Lynch for WrestleMania. Because you still got, like you said in the last pick, you have Elimination Chamber and Fastlane, which sometimes I forget there's now 2 between Rumble and Mania. So that kind of makes it a little tough. But I could see either one winning here, but I'm going with Asuka. It's kind of just like I'm just picking names for this one pretty much. Yeah. Right now, I'm just going with Asuka. Alright. So, we will move on to, I guess we are going to switch over to, Raw right now. A Raw match. Let's go with the Raw Women's Championship. You got Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, who's had it since, how long has she had this now?
I think, the pay-per-view after Money in the Bank, because she won it from Bliss. Was it? I don't know.
Was it SummerSlam?
Yeah, well, you know what? That makes more sense. Yeah, it might have been SummerSlam.
I think it was, yeah. Wow, she's had it for quite a while then, if that's right. We might be wrong, but... yeah, SummerSlam, I think it was. It was. Blech. Yeah, she's had it for a while.
It might have been Extreme Rules, though. Might have been Extreme Rules.
I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure. Either way, she's had it for quite a while, and she hasn't had that bad of a run. I was talking about this with Kyle earlier, and we'll kind of dive off into a little discussion here at the end of my thing here, but yeah, she's had it for a while. Right now, and this is kind of connected with my last pick. I just didn't want to say anything yet. I'm going with, shockingly, I'm going with Sasha Banks here to win the title. And the main reason for that is I'm expecting some sort of interference from either Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair, possibly leading to that. Rousey had cost Becky and Charlotte their match at TLC. I think that maybe one or both of them will cost her title tonight. God, what am I on the kickoff show? On Sunday. I definitely see that happening. I think Banks will, capitalize off the interference and win the belt for like the 20th time. But yeah, I got Banks going over Rousey due to interference. And what's your pick, Kyle?
You know what? Because I didn't even think about anything like what you were saying. That wasn't even in my mindset. But I am going to kind of talk about the Women's Rumble a little bit because I could see WWE pulling some Roman Reigns stuff here and Rousey dropping the title and coming out number 30 and winning the Rumble. I could just see something like that happening. I could just see it happening. But I don't know. Because Sasha Banks winning the Raw Women's Championship would be very, very special. But I think that if she would win it, I think that she would, again, just be a transitional champion, and I could see her dropping it even before WrestleMania. I got Rousey labeled down. I think that Rousey's just going to get a clean win here. I think that Sasha is getting a good opportunity here. I do think that's good for her that we're getting somebody different. But I just think Rousey is going to retain. I don't think anything more of it. I do really think that your prediction is good. I think that it is surprising. I kind of just expect you to throw out Rousey and just say Rousey retains easily. I think it'll be a good competitive match, but at the end of the day, with Sasha and Bayley rumored to go after the women tag belts at Chamber, I just think that Rousey winning and retaining is the safest bet. I don't know if this will have anything to do with her potential departure from WWE. I don't know if that might change WWE's mind, even though it's kind of might not happen. So it's just a rumor. But yeah, I am picking Rousey nonetheless. You're picking Banks, which I think is a very, very interesting pick that could really go a far way. So
wait, before you move on, something else I meant to say and also just kind of add, to what you're saying there. Yeah, I was going to mention this too, with my, pick of Asuka beating Lynch for the, for the title, SmackDown Women's Championship, and Banks defeating Rousey. Something else that I completely forgot to mention in my pick was, I think that might be connected. The way I see it happening, or at least the way I book it, is, the match, the triple threat match, which is rumored, if it's going to happen, which I think it will, at Mania, and especially with rumors of Rousey leaving after Mania, and the fact that they're all on, different shows. Rousey's on Raw and Becky and Charlotte on SmackDown. I think that, I don't think it will be for a title because you got cross-branding there. So I think that I don't think there's going to be any championship involved there. And I certainly don't think that if, Rousey's leaving after Mania, I don't think she will leave, dropping a title. I just don't see her, kind of departing like that. Although that would be kind of interesting for a potential comeback down the road. But, yeah, that's just more of my reasoning. I just completely forgot.
Yeah, but now the only thing I say about that is, because you have to think at WrestleMania now, that would mean we would have a triple threat match there. We would have 2 championship matches plus a likely women's tag team championship match. I just don't think that. I don't know. I could see it. I was actually thinking it could be for both championships at some point. It could be for both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships, and one could leave a double champion. So there's a lot of things. This women's division is definitely very, very interesting. We will be able to talk a little bit more about it when we get to the Women's Rumble. So let's go ahead and move on here to the next match. And we're going to go ahead with the main card, pretty much the top two matches, the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. We'll first talk about the Universal Championship. We, of course, had the Beast, Brock Lesnar, going one-on-one with Finn Balor for the Universal Championship. We, of course, all know how this went down. Strowman not going to be in the match. Finn wins a more contenders match, and he is now the challenger against Brock Lesnar. His first opportunity for the Universal Championship, in quite a while. I think the last time he got the chance was when the day after Roman won it, and it was pretty obvious that he wouldn't win. But now he is in a prime position here against Brock Lesnar on a big stage in Phoenix, and it should be a very, very good match. But the prediction. Now, this is a tough one because, Joe knows, we all know Finn Balor is wildly over in the WWE. He has had a fantastic run. He has been the victim of some very, very shady booking, inconsistent booking, 50-50 booking. All that stuff has happened with Finn Balor. He hasn't won a championship on the main roster. I think that really goes as very, well, I'm sorry, he did win the Universal, but ever since his return, he hasn't gotten a championship run that has lasted more than a day. So we have to ask ourselves, is WWE going to go full in on the new era and crown a new Universal Champion? And I'm going to say yes. I'm going to pick Finn Balor here. And one reason is what I just said. And my second reason is I think that we are at the point in Brock Lesnar's career that he does not have to walk into WrestleMania as a champion. I don't think that he needs a Universal Championship this WrestleMania. He doesn't have a big match happening at Mania. Roman Reigns is out. We don't know what's happening with The Rock. We don't know if he's returning. Triple H is not wrestling, so Batista likely is not going to come back. Lesnar doesn't have a big match planned for Mania this year. It's not like years before where we could see Lesnar face Reigns, we could see Lesnar face Taker, we could see Lesnar face Goldberg. It's not like that this year. And Finn Balor will be a new, fresh face to the Raw men's division. We will get a champion every week. And I think that they could go full in here. If they're legitimately serious about a new era, this would be exactly what they would need to do to make that new era happen. Because we're likely not going to get a big-time championship change like this in any of the other matches. You could say Becky wins, you could say Sasha. Even Sasha winning isn't necessarily a change. She, like you said, it will be her fifth reign as champion. If AJ Styles wins the championship, that's not a big change. Shane and Miz win the championship, that's not a big change. This is the change I think that would, believe me, I don't think it's likely at all. I really don't. I don't think, but it's a prediction. It's what I want. It's kind of like I'm a huge Balor fan, so I really want it to happen. But, knowing this could be just like the Lesnar and Bryan match, and Balor could get a bunch of momentum and then ultimately lose in the end. But, Joe, I'm eager to hear what you have to say about this match. So go ahead and make the prediction. I picked Balor, though. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. Whoa. You definitely hit a lot of good points there. Exactly what I was thinking as far as, the whole fresh start, which they mentioned a time or two. And, will they go full in on it? That would be, believe me, I'm with you on that. That would be great, and I think that'll be a great fresh, face with the title going into, the next few pay-per-views in Mania. Yeah, it would be great. This match is, something that's always been, that's been reported the past few weeks or so that I've seen is that, Lesnar, since the Daniel Bryan match, is really more open and would prefer to face, smaller guys, quote unquote smaller guys, like Bryan, like Balor, because I think even Brock knows, he's not confused about it, he gets it. It tells a better story. I think he gets that. And that one, the Daniel Bryan match we saw at Survivor Series, that one, I see a lot of I saw a lot of praise for it, and it was good for a Lesnar match. It was different, which was good, I guess, but it wasn't the best. But it was a step in the right direction. I think Balor and him, I don't know why. I just feel like they're gonna. I don't want to say tear it down, but I think it'll be a pretty good match. Pretty good storytelling in this one. But yeah, I will stop rambling on this one. That's all I had to say about that. But accept my pick, which is I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm going with Lesnar, although I would love, love, love if they switched it up and put the belt on Balor. But I'm just going with Lesnar. I think it's more of a safe pick because I've picked against Lesnar many times before, hoping for a shocking title change because he always has the championship. It just doesn't happen. I think that it may coincide, big word, with the men's Rumble match here. I mean, potentially. But yeah, I'm just going with Lesnar. It was kind of tough to pick, but I'm going with Lesnar here. Safe pick. All right. Let's move on to, I guess we got, oh yeah, of course I forgot about it. It's the WWE Championship. How could I? No. Right now we got champion Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan, taking on the what? AJ Styles, the real, I guess?
The real, yeah.
That makes sense. I guess he's been a fake before. Yeah, Bryan defending against Styles here, and in what should be, it should be a stellar match, but we shall see. I'm looking forward to it. We got Bryan, who is, in my opinion, at least he's pretty over right now. I think as a heel, he's definitely won me over. At first, I wasn't sure, but he has been very committed to it. I think, and it's very believable. His new, persona, which is pretty much not even a persona. It's more of just an exaggeration of who he really is. Which is, it's great. I think it's a great run he's having as a heel right now. And, right now, him as champion, I just think is great. I think they're going to keep that going here. I'm going with Bryan to defeat Styles, retain the championship. We've seen Styles with the belt. He had it for over a year. Or just about a year, right? Almost a year.
Yeah.
Good year. And I just don't think they're going to put it back on him yet. I think we're building to this. I think this feud may stretch a few more pay-per-views, where who knows what will happen. But right now, I just think that for the story's sake, I think it's best to keep it on Bryan, keep it going, and then maybe lead to Styles taking it from him eventually. But right now, I think it's so early in this story. I think Bryan's the best pick here. But what do you think, Kyle? Where are you going with?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with half of your statement, and I disagree with the other half. I agree that Daniel Bryan retains. What I disagree with is I think that this feud ends here. I think that this feud has been going on for actually a while now. I mean, he did win the championship from him in November, so at the same time, it's been about a over 2-month feud. I think that Daniel's already beat AJ at TLC clean, really. That was a clean victory. I think that if he again defeats him clean, I think that AJ can ultimately move on. We've seen that he could have a couple WrestleMania feuds. It's been rumored, of course, that I think Randy Orton's name has been brought up. He could refeud with Shane McMahon. That's been brought up. So there's a couple different things that AJ could do. I think that Daniel Bryan winning here is more logical. And I keep saying to myself, I'm like, well, if Daniel wins, now he's going to enter WrestleMania as the champion. That's not necessarily true. I mean, we do, like you said, have 2 pay-per-views before Mania, so Daniel could win here. I mean, you could defend the championship in an Elimination Chamber, or there could be a number one contenders match for the championship in Elimination Chamber. There could be a couple different things Daniel could do with the belt. And, yeah, I'm making this one very basic. I think that Daniel retains here, and they both go their separate ways. Maybe AJ could still kind of, go after the championship and then a couple number of contenders matches. I just don't think that AJ Styles being the WWE champion into WrestleMania is going to happen this year. I think that he will be doing something different that doesn't necessarily involve the belt. So, I think that's all I have to say about that match. So now it is time for the Royal Rumble predictions. Joe, did you want to kick the Rumble predictions off? You can go ahead and start it off with for us.
Oh, somebody's not ready. No, I'm just kidding with you. We'll start with we'll go with the women's first. How about that? The women's Royal Rumble match. We got a bunch of participants already announced, which I'm kind of in the middle on. A lot of people don't like all of the announced, people for it. A lot of people do. I see both sides to it, but yeah, for both matches, there's a lot announced, but either way, yada yada. A lot of names here that I definitely see don't winning, and there's only a select few, honestly, that I do see winning. So it kind of... it's interesting, because sometimes I kind of second guess. I was second guessing for both matches, like, what if there's kind of a shocker from the people I think don't have a chance here. And, for this one, we both have top 3s here, by the way, which I think has pretty much been a tradition for us, although I don't think we did predictions last year. We did TakeOver, that's a good thing. But, we picked top 3 here, and, I don't know, should I go 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1?
What
do you think?
I would say your top pick first.
Okay.
Then your backup, and then your wild card.
Okay. Yeah, that's the way I was thinking. But yeah. So number 1 here, I am going with. I'm going with. Here I go. I'm second guessing myself in the middle of talking here. I'll just go with it. I will pick for this one Ember Moon. Ember Moon. And to be quite honest with you, that is one that I just changed my mind on. For whatever reason, I just didn't think of it before. I'm going with Ember Moon here. Number 1 pick. So sudden, but yeah. Number 1, Ember Moon, because, she was called up, was it the week after Mania last year?
Yeah, because she was in the Rumble last year, but I don't believe she got called up right away.
Yeah, because she had just retained the title the night before. She came in as champion last year, and then debuted for real a week or so after Mania. Yeah. She's had a good, run and she's still kind of being billed as like an up-and-coming star of the women's division, and it's just, it's been a while, and I think that this might be what it possibly was leading to, which is kind of like, this could be her, big breakout moment, leading to a title match, obviously, at Mania, and, I don't know who she'd go for, I don't have a prediction for that, but, yeah, my number 1 pick, Ember Moon. I still got 2 to go. I should really shorten these. Number 2, I'm going with the one that was my number 1 pick before, which was Nia Jax. Now, not one that I want to win necessarily, but I will say that the thing about Jax is she obviously, she has that size advantage, which usually in Rumble matches leads to, like, everyone ganging up on you and throwing you out. But I just think that she has right now a lot of heat, like, from the fans. And a lot of it's just, she has a lot of heat right now as a heel. And I think that maybe this could just be, lead to a good, having a good match at Mania as a heel. I think she's doing a great job. And it's just kind of a random pick here. It's tough. And then number 3, my kind of shocking pick, I guess, is more of it's more of a shocker. I'm going with Mandy Rose, which
I thought about that.
Yeah.
I thought about you saying that.
Yeah, and it's it's not as a joke. Usually I say names like that as a joke here, but no, that's my for real shocking pick. I was going through the names and I was thinking maybe because obviously, like we talked about earlier, we got the women's tag titles coming. Her and Sonya Deville, will probably be going for those, but I don't know. I just think that she could be possibly, win this. I honestly, I'm not joking once again. I kind of would like to see her win the Rumble match because right now I love the character, not because of the, not because I like watching it. I think she's ugly personally. But, her character, her booking right now, I just think is great because I think, having her as kind of this still a diva, in the women's division, kind of. It's kind of old school, and I think that, I like having, seeing one woman doing that right now. I think it's great for her, and I just think that would be great, honestly, for her to win that. I just think it would be just draw a lot of heat. I just would love that. But yeah, I could see her doing it. That's my 3rd pick. Now, I've been going on for a while. Go for it.
That's good. Good picks, man. Really, I think that they are 3 picks. I didn't expect any of the 3 necessarily from you, actually. So that was some good picks. Like you were saying, of course, most of the women are announced. I think it's 23 out of 30, so it's 7 surprises / returns, which is nice, or other people that aren't announced. And yeah, so I have my 3 picks here, and I'm happy to say that none of our 3 align with each other, nor are the same. So that's a positive. My number 1 pick to win the Royal Rumble. Now, this actually goes away from your women's championship predictions, and it kind of aligns more with mine. And my pick to win the women's Royal Rumble is Charlotte Flair. And this is probably a little bit more of like an unpopular one as well, much like your Nia pick. I think that Charlotte winning it would 100% make her career even more spectacular than it already is. I think that it would be a big win for her. I think it would be similar to the way Ric Flair won it. I think that she will come in very, very early in the match and win it, possibly within maybe like the top 10. I don't think she'll be number 1 or 2, but I think it will be within the top 10. I think she'll last a long time, all the way to the end, and win the match. So I just think that it's one of the safest picks to make. I mean, Charlotte, she's in it. It's her first Royal Rumble. She wasn't in it a year ago. It would set up the whole Becky, Ronda, Charlotte debacle at WrestleMania. So it's a safe pick, and it's what I'm going with. So my backup pick to this, kind of second guessing this the more and more I look at it, but I already wrote it down, and I like to stick with the picks that I made originally. And my backup pick is to win from the number 30 position, Carmella. This is a strange one. This is just kind of one I came up on the fly because I really didn't even think about Ember Moon. at all. I thought about the other two, but I didn't put them down. I didn't even think about Ember Moon at all, and I think this kind of should have been Ember Moon, but I'm just going to throw Carmella out there. I mean, she's coming in number 30, right there. That makes her odds go way up. It makes her automatically a favorite. One of the favorites, just since she's coming in so late. And I could see them somewhat, going her. They did put her to win Money in the Bank, so WWE's proven that they like to give her big match wins. I mean, she had won Money in the Bank twice. So, yeah. And my wild card pick, quote unquote, this is one that I'm surprised you didn't say, because I really expected us to have the same wild card pick here. And my wild card pick to win the Royal Rumble is Nikki Cross. And now, this is one reason for this is the fact that she doesn't have a brand. So I think that would automatically make it intriguing if she wins. And two, I think this would also, as I've been saying throughout the video, would continue to make the new era of WWE, the fifth new era in the past 2 years, legitimate. I think that would definitely make it a legitimate new era if Nikki would come out and win the Royal Rumble. I think that it could very, very well happen. I think that it's an outside of the box prediction. I don't believe many people are picking her, but I think her winning would definitely be special for the company, the business. It would just be a big shocker from NXT. I mean, she hasn't been on the main roster very long, so that would just, she could really match up well with Ronda, Becky, Asuka, Sasha. I mean, she could match up well with anybody. I think that's also something I could see. I could see her and Asuka going at it if Asuka would retain. I could see a bunch of different things with her. So Nikki Cross is my wild card prediction. Charlotte is my main prediction, and then Carmella is my backup. So
yeah,
I guess I'll start this one off.
Wait, hold on. Before you move on, just one note. I did like your Nikki Cross prediction. That was one I was considering for my third as well, actually. And someone else who I thought for sure you were going to pick, that we haven't even talked about, which I thought would be one of ours, was, I had her at first as my number 2. I just took her out of it, was returning Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I did consider her.
Yeah.
I just think with her being on top for so long, I just don't think she necessarily needs it. But I could see that happening now. I could see it coming down to somebody like her and Charlotte. I mean, that's a good pick, though. If anybody will go ahead and pick her, I think that's a very, very strong. I think she'll last a long time if she comes in early. So, I think that is a good pick.
Yeah, but, probably the way I see it is Bliss, returning, which is huge, I think, the reason I kind of took her out last second was I was thinking, maybe as a returning, she's going to have a lot of buzz when she comes in. It's like, oh gosh, she's returning. And, I just think that someone's going to throw her out, leading to a new feud. Or she throws someone out and then people, from behind just throw her out and they fight. You know what I mean? But yeah. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, I guess since we're still on the Women's Rumble, we can also throw in, do you have any, surprise entrants that you expect this year? I'll say mine real quick. I do have a couple labeled here. I have Trish and Lee, and I think that both of them, I don't really have, possibly Shayna Baszler, possibly Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, somebody else I wrote down, Michelle McCool, Tori Wilson, just a couple I wrote down. I didn't know if you had any that maybe weren't in it last year, maybe that got women that aren't in NXT, maybe just somebody that's not a debut, perhaps. I don't know if you had anybody.
All of those are nice, but I see Vicky Guerrero coming in.
Yeah.
No. That's actually not even a joke. She went in last year, and I keep forgetting about that. Because we were there, and I haven't even rewatched it yet, so I forgot. She actually did. But but for real, I actually agree with all that. I could see any one of them, especially the safe picks, which are, Lita and Trish, who, they're not going to win it. And they're not supposed to. They're just in there, for fun and add a little, nostalgia to it. And I think the same could be said for others that might enter it, like Nicole. But I don't think we're going to see all of the same ones as last year, because I think they don't want to just keep repeating that, maybe more call-ups, or, one-night call-ups for this one, with anyone from NXT.
Kairi Sane again could be in it. I mean, she's not doing anything on NXT right now. She had a pretty good appearance last year. Like I said, Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Candice LeRae, I think would really get a good pop.
Definitely.
Yeah, so definitely a few out there. All right, so we'll go ahead and transition now into the men's Royal Rumble.
Actually, one more surprise. I'm sorry, I just thought of it. What about Caitlyn Jenner?
That would be a good one.
Did you ever think of that? Okay, now we can move on to the Rumble match.
All right, so we're moving into the men's Royal Rumble now. Of course, the men's Royal Rumble, it's likely going to main event this year. We currently have 20 out of the 30 men announced. That includes John Cena, so pretty much make that 19. You still have 11 people that, when it comes to surprises, etc., could be in it. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and I'll get into my predictions here. And my number one pick is, I think, a very, very popular one within the WWE universe. I think a lot of people have predicted him to win it, and that is, of course, Seth Rollins to win the 2019 Men's Royal Rumble. We all know who Seth Rollins is. We all know what he can do. We know everything about him. I don't even need to explain that. Him winning, he's teased it. He's talked about it. He's been one of the top favorites heading into the Rumble this year. He could go on. He could even go after the WWE title. Likely going to be the Universal title, though. And I think that's a very obvious one. Him winning, even though him winning, I don't think would be a letdown, even though it's obvious. Nakamura was heavily rumored to win last year. He won the damn thing. People popped. And I think Rollins winning would absolutely be a big, big situation in Phoenix. I think that it would be outstanding. So that's my pick. And actually, my Rumble picks are probably a little bit underwhelming. They're all kind of obvious, but my backup pick is Drew McIntyre. And Rollins and McIntyre have been the two that have been feuding on Raw over the right to win the Royal Rumble. They've been going back and forth over the past month about it. McIntyre, of course, the way he debuted, he's definitely cooled off, though. I think somebody actually, I saw a post that apparently McIntyre only has like one singles win since December, and it was against Ziggler in the steel cage, so it's kind of interesting. So the past like 2 months, he's only won one match, which is very, very interesting. But I think Drew is the definition of a strong heel in WWE. I think that he has that heat. Him winning the Rumble would definitely, I think, make a lot of people happy. It would definitely, again, as I'm talking about the new era, I think that would be another positive towards that. And him winning would certainly be a move in the right direction for WWE. So now my wild card pick, I don't really know if it's a wild card pick. It's just somebody I thought of that I don't think many people are predicting. But my wild card pick is former Intercontinental Champion. He just lost the Intercontinental Championship, and that's Dean Ambrose to come out and win it. Me and Joe were actually talking about it before the video even came on. We were talking about, I had mentioned how Triple H won the Rumble, and they teased Ambrose to win it. And I think back to that. Ambrose does. If we're looking, quote unquote, in kayfabe here, Ambrose has good experience in the Rumble match. He is kind of cooled down since he returned. I don't think the crowd is necessarily giving him that heel heat that they did when he first turned. But I think a Rumble win would be outstanding. Maybe eliminating Seth Rollins to win it. Maybe eliminating, I don't know, Bobby Lashley or somebody, Elias, somebody just over. I think if he would eliminate Rollins to win the match, that would definitely be pretty cool. And I think Ambrose could be a safe bet to win it. Even though he is a wild card pick, I just don't feel like many people are viewing him as like a big contender of the match. I think they're just kind of viewing him as another filler. And he's rumored to face EC3 at WrestleMania. So I was reading that the other day. And, I don't know. I don't really have many predictions for the winner of the Royal Rumble this year. I don't think that it's going to be Rollins or McIntyre necessarily going to be the only two favorites, but I just don't really have many names that I want. I was thinking maybe like Randy Orton, but we've been there, seen that. I was thinking a couple guys from SmackDown. I just don't think SmackDown's going to get it this year. That's why I didn't even put a SmackDown superstar as a Rumble pick. But nonetheless, I have Rollins as my number one, McIntyre as my number two, and Dean Ambrose as my wild card pick. So, Joe, go ahead and get into your 3 men's Royal Rumble picks.
Wow, man, this one's going to be... My picks are going to be quick because I agree with you on 2 out of the 3 same spots. Number 1, I'm going with the same one, Seth Rollins. Obviously, he is a favorite, like you said, but it wouldn't be necessarily disappointing. And something I took into consideration with this one was, like you said, he's been, teasing winning. He's been saying, I'm going to win. I mean, everyone says it, but, he's been a favorite, and something he has been teasing is facing Lesnar at Mania, which, doing this would get him there, and going with my pick from earlier, I think that would match up pretty nice. Pretty nice. And so, yeah, that's why I have him as number 1. Number 2, once again, Drew McIntyre. We had the same ones here. Drew McIntyre, number 2. Pretty much same reasons you said. He's another favorite. He's another, as Michael Cole said, I think recently on Raw, he's an up-and-coming superstar. Who's in his 30s, I think. But yeah. He's like DDP. No, but McIntyre, the up-and-coming super wrestler here on Monday Night Wrestling, is my number 2 pick. And then number 3, different though. You had Dean Ambrose. I'm going with someone who, now this is more of just kind of like a dream scenario. I don't see it happening, but I think it would be pretty freaking cool. Having this person's on SmackDown. He used to be on 205 Live. I'm going with Mustafa Ali as a surprise pick, and I know that's, God, this might go down as like one of my picks that was like picking Daniel Bryan to win Money in the Bank, like after you're retired or something. But or when he was injured, whatever. I don't know. I have this weird feeling that it's possible, but I don't think it's happening. That's why it's my 3rd. Just more of kind of a dream pick, I guess. I'm not looking for, points here with the prediction. It's more of just kind of a thought. I think he might have a chance. I think it would be a hell of a moment. Especially with, you mentioned it a time or two, the new era.
Yeah, that would definitely be a way to
usher in
transition.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. The fresh start here. Yeah. Listen. Yeah, that's my top 3. And moving on now to we're just gonna predict elimination No. That's,
I mean, that pretty much concludes the Rumble predictions. I mean, did you want to throw in any surprises? I do have a couple here for the men's match. I have and debuting EC3. I mean, the past couple weeks he's been on Raw and SmackDown. I think he'll certainly be in it. I have Velveteen Dreamer. I'm not sure if you probably know, Joe, about the whole stuff going on with Dream. He's not working NXT in storyline, so I think that him being in Rumble makes a lot of sense. I could see Adam Cole or a member of Undisputed Era being in it. Johnny Gargano is somebody I had mentioned or I had on my list. And then I'm sure we'll get a legend or two. I mean, perhaps a return, a one-night return, Booker T, JBL. I mean, other than that, I don't really.
What the hell?
Yeah, I have them couple NXTers, and I don't really have a legend specifically. Kenny Omega. All right, so your turn.
Not happening, brother. He's going to Almost Expert Wrestling. But the surprise picks, once again, I hate to sound boring here, but all of yours I definitely see happening. As far as I just want to talk about for a minute, the whole Velveteen Dream thing, who I see.
You know what? No, hold on. I want to talk about Kane for a minute.
I want to talk.
All right, go
on. All right, guys. I want to talk about Kane.
He might be in it. All right.
Yeah. No, I want to talk about Dream for a minute here. I think I've heard about that storyline going on, but he has a match. He's supposed to Saturday.
No, he's not on. He's not on the card.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure.
I thought he was
not on the.
I thought he was supposed to face someone. Well, then I'm dead wrong.
No.
Then I for sure definitely see him entering, which I would love. You know, you definitely saw him before he was a star in WWE. I didn't catch it, but you know, it's interesting. Yeah, but definitely, yeah. Same with EC3. For sure, I see him entering. I don't see why not. You know, he's backstage just looking in a mirror and he's stripping in hotel rooms. You know, I just think that's his next thing. I think he's going to get in the ring and try it out. You know, he's not going to strip anymore. I'd hate to end the video on that. But, anything else?
Yeah, I mean,
we got to cover.
Did you have? I mean, Kurt Angle was somebody I think you brought up. He could make a surprise appearance and eliminate like Corbin or something.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that.
Angle,
him.
Yeah,
but touching, I know, you know, we're not going to get into it because we've been going on for a long time. Nobody's even watching anymore. Jesus. But with the whole, you know,
breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, like nobody's fucking. Anyway.
Maybe CM Punk.
The whole.
Perhaps.
No, the whole Kenny Omega thing. Now, we're not going to talk.
God.
We're not going to talk about, you know, the other, you know, because we were first. The other AEW, who, from what I've heard, are trying to get us as commentators, but I don't know about that. I saw it in the Observer. You know, I just, it's not even possible, I don't think, because I think his contract runs through the end of the month with New Japan, who he's not even signing with after that. Unless if they're able to buy out his contract before.
Yeah, they could strike a deal. I was reading about that. I mean, to where his contract could end a week earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, or he could just say hell with it and debut for WWE and take the fine later. I mean, that could be something that could happen. You never know.
Yeah.
But I think that his likeliness of debuting in the Royal Rumble is not very high right now. I think his likeliness of even signing with WWE is probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I think he's going with his buddies who we're not going to talk about because Kyle hates competition in wrestling. You know, I think he's going to go with the Elite in All Elite Wrestling. There we go, AEW. And I don't think there's not a shot. I don't think.
All right, well, I think we're good, Joe. I don't think we have to do much more here. Glad we've got the 20-minute mark.
Oh yeah, we're about 20. Wow.
19:59.
All right. Hilarious, Kyle. All right, we gotta end this one. Thanks for joining us, guys, and girls, and the rest. Who are our favorites? We gotta go. You know, we covered everything here on the Rumble, and we're gonna be talking about, hopefully, predicting future pay-per-views. But you never know with us. I think we said that last time. I don't know. We're definitely gonna try and subscribe. Like, comment your predictions, or send us hate mail. Whatever. Talk to us. We're lonely. We will see you in the next one. We will see you next time. See ya. Wait, hold on. What's the thing I end with usually?
This is AEW.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is AEW.